Hi, my name is Kate Twilley, and we're here with Amanda Gonzalez. Hi, Amanda. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No problem. So, why are you here? What do you want to talk about today?
Today I'm talking to you about the legalization of marijuana and its benefits that I think it would have on our country.
Okay, so name a few benefits that you think.
I think that by legalizing marijuana, not only are we going to help drop the crime rate, we're going to help medical patients, people with like cancer stuff, like they can benefit from having marijuana at their arm's reach when they need. I also think that having a control on it would help, like, I need to like, think of the word for it, but it would help control the distribution of it, so how it's being distributed and what's in what people are purchasing, because right now we have people purchasing it from anywhere on the street or who they can find it from. So I think that the control on it would help be safer for people to use when they would like, and I think it would help the economy in different ways. I don't know if I said that at first, but I
So
think
you said, sorry to cut you off, but you said that you think it would help the economy. Do you think that the American government and the economy is like that desperate for new ways of income?
I believe so, just because we're in trillions of dollars of debt, and I feel like we were to have marijuana legalized in all states, because it's already legalized in many states, in the states that it is legalized in, like California or Colorado, like their economy isn't, we're not in such a detrimental economic crisis, but I feel like it would benefit us and help us in the long run, instead of making us get into like an economic crisis where like we need to jump into like legalizing marijuana and having that factor there at like when we need it. I feel like it's better if we start doing it now instead of when it's too late.
So when you say that we need it, do you mean in like a medical sense or in like all recreational use?
I think that it would be most beneficial in a medical sense, but I also think it would benefit us as a recreational use, just for the simple fact that it would, one, help regulate the distribution of how it's being distributed to people, and it would, two, help drop the crime rate, because right now we have people who are incarcerated or in prisons or jails just because of like having, let's say, a small amount of marijuana, or like if they're distributing it whichever way. I don't believe that people should be distributing it from their homes. I think that if it was legal, it should be regulated and taken through like stores or pharmacies or whichever way the government decides that it should be distributed. So I feel like dropping it would help drop the crime rate and stuff like that.
Okay, so you probably have heard this argument before, but what would you say to the people who say that marijuana is the gateway drug?
I feel like marijuana isn't the gateway drug. I feel like we have things that are legal, such as alcohol or prescribed medications, such as like Xanax and things that people get prescribed to every day. And those drugs and alcohol, like those substances can kill you at any moment. It just depends on how you use it or abuse it. So I feel like when people say that marijuana is a gateway drug, it's really up to the person who's using it. Like, how are you using it? How much are you using of it? Because you can get addicted to anything. And it just depends on the person on how you're using it. So I feel like when people say it's a gateway drug, it's really an invalid argument, because it's not, because anything could be a gateway drug or anything can be abused. It just depends on the person.
So do you think that if marijuana is legalized everywhere, do you think that car accident rates will increase because people will be driving under the influence as well as driving drunk?
I feel like it should be just as how if someone was driving under the influence of alcohol or anything else, they should be punished the same way. If it were to happen and crashes were to come up, I think there should be a way, and I feel like through studies and research we can figure out ways to make sure people aren't driving under the influence, and if they are, how are we going to regulate it, and how are we going to like end that, and not make sure that it's not coming into something that's going to actually harm us instead of benefiting our country.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Are you going to say goodbye to the camera?
Oh, thank you for joining us today. I'm Kate Twilley. Enjoy the rest of your day.